Away in the woods, there was a large Indian town on the outskirts of which resided two old people who had but two children. And they were daughters. Both were very fair and beautiful, but they were shy and coy, and did not allow themselves to be seen by everybody. They rejected all offers of marriage. The chief of the village had a fine son who was expected to take the office when his father should abdicate or die. This young man knew of the two bells of the village, and saw the hand of one of them in marriage. He interested his father and some of his friends in the matter. In due time, they repaired to the lodge where the girls resided, to enter upon negotiations.
Father, I would like you to do me a favor. I would like to marry one of the chief's daughter, and I need your help to make it possible.
Let's hide ourselves. I don't want to get married yet. I have many dreams to achieve, and marrying is the least of my plans.
Come on, we won't come out until they leave this place.
The girls kept themselves out of sight behind the screen. The evening passed pleasantly. They ate, drank, and engaged in games. In due time, the old chief asked the father for the hand of one of his daughter for his son. He replied that he would give an answer the next day.
Sir, can I get your daughter's hand in marriage for the honor of my own son?
I will think about it further. You'll get the answer by tomorrow.
In the meantime, the young women, who had of course heard all that had passed, were questioned as to their wishes in the matter. They decided on the negative. The word to that effect was sent to the old chief, the father himself carrying the message. Now it happened that there lived in the village a fellow who was ill-looking and stupid, a poor hand at every kind of work. He, hearing of the ill success of the young chief, said jocosely,
I could get one of these girls if I choose.
Forthwith, some of his companions proposed to accompany him and suggested that they should go to that very evening. Go in suddenly upon them just as they were beginning their evening meal. This plan was carried out, and the girls had no time to jump behind their screen, so that the boys had a fair opportunity to look into their beautiful faces. They were invited to eat. They said they had eaten their suppers but yielded to the importance of the old people. After supper, they engaged in various games, one of which was called the Mingdokajik. This was played by hiding in the ashes a small ring which was fished for by the parties, who had hidden their faces when the ring was secreted. First, one would plunge a pointed stick in the ashes, and if he missed it, the other would take the stick and try. The one who found the ring won the game. Thus the evening passed, but not a word was lisped respecting matrimony. Nor did the young women vouchsafe a single word to anyone. When it grew late, the visitors went home, and the young man who had boasted jestingly about his confidence of success was somewhat railed by his comrades upon his failure. Time passed, and the same young man went into the woods hunting with a companion, from whom he was separated during the course of the day. He met an old woman wrinkled and bent down, whose hair was adorned with a great display of sakalobik, which hung down over her shoulders, binding up her hair and then trailing down to her feet.
Where are you heading to?
She asked the young man.
I am going to hunt.
Where are you from, Nogiamse?
Although I haven't been very far, look at you. Are you planning to marry one of those beauties?
Oh, not like that.
I can help you and tell you how you can get her affections and obtain her for your wife if you say the word.
How can I get her? That's too impossible.
Take this, roll it up and carry it in your pouch for a while, and then go watch your opportunity and toss it upon her back. But take care that she does not see you, and that no one knows the matter but yourself,
said she, handing him one of the hairstring that hung in profusion over her shoulders. So he took the sagulube and did as directed. Selecting a few of his comrades, he called upon the parties. taking care to bolt in suddenly upon them just as they were about to begin their suppers. The girl had no time to hide. Their parents treated the visitors with great kindness and attention, and soon an opportunity occurred to toss the salgulube upon the back of one of the girls. Soon after this, the young men retired to their homes. A day or two later, as the young man was walking alone in the woods, he saw coming toward him the girl whom he had made love by tossing at her the sagulube. The old woman who gave him the string was a witch, and the string was a magical snare that had caught the heart of the girl, and she had gone out to meet the object of her affections. She first addressed him. Tame aliku?
I am going to hunt.
But whence have you come? What are you doing out here alone? Are you lost?
Oh no, I am not lost. You would better return home, and I will go with you and tell your parents that I have found you wandering in the woods, not knowing the way home.
Whereupon the father inquired of the young man if he would like to take her to be his wife. He answered in the affirmative, and without any ceremony, save a festival, the matter was settled.
I found your daughter lost in the woods, and have brought her home to you. May I ask her hand for marriage?
Yes, you will, since you bring my daughter back to us.
Sometime after this, the husband inquired of his wife.
Where did you get that pretty sagalobe?
I found it in my notebook, the place where I was accustomed to sit in the wigwam.
This man now felt disposed to assist the young chief in obtaining the other girl. So he went and inquired if he was still desirous of marrying her. Learning that this was the case, he told him how he could succeed. So they went into the woods together, and soon they met the friendly fairy, who questioned the chief as she had questioned the other, gave him a sagulube and told him what to do with it. He proceeded according to directions, visited the ledge, bolting in suddenly at the evening meal. Watching his opportunity, he tossed the magic string upon the back of the girl. It dropped down on the bots and was picked up in due time and exercised its magical influence over the heart of the finder, leading her to fall desperately in love with the young chief. He in the meantime had gone home and kept himself very close for a few days. When he went out hunting, he met the object of his search. As the others had done, escorted her home and told her parents that she was lost. Though, in answer to his inquiries on that point when they met, she had assured that she was not lost. Her father inquired if he would like to take her home with him. He replied in the affirmative and led her away to his father's lodge. A great festival followed, and the young man prepared for their young chief a large and commodious wigwam, which Jake were on the best terms and were much together. One day, the young chief asked his friend if he would like to learn to be a swift runner.
Can you teach me? I want to be a swift runner.
Of course, I will tell you how you can do it. Go gather some feathers and let them fly when the wind blows hard, and run after them. You will soon be able to outstrip the wind, and the art once acquired will be permanent. You will be able to run swiftly ever after.
He went and tried it. He found that even so, having thus by the aid of magic and practice acquired the power of fleet running. The young chief showed him how he could become strong and improve his eyesight and his skills in discovering animals in hunting.
Dress yourself up in the ugliest looking clothes you can find, putting them on outside your ordinary dress. Find the first man you can provoke to attack you. When he sees you, slip out of your rags and run. Then you can escape after that from any man or beast that may get you in his grasp.
This was done, and he soon met a crazy man, whom he insulted and provoked. As soon as he was attacked, he slipped out from his harlequin's dress, which he left in his assailant's hands, whom he imagined the wearer to be in it. So he beat the furious and left it for dead, the other looking on and laughing the while, but at a safe distance.
Take a handful of moose hair, clasp it in a roll firmly between your thumb and fingers. Then, hold them up in the wind and blow the hair away. You will be able to see all the moose that are about you for a long distance around. Take the hair of any other animal and do the same thing with it. The effect will be the same. You will see these animals wherever they are.
He took his lessons and put it to practice, and the result was as predicted. Sometime after this, in his rambles, he entered a house. The man in the house was away, but the mistress was home. He inquired where the husband was. She pointed to the field and told him that he was out there. He looked but could see nothing except a flock of geese. He now asked his friend how he could learn to see fishes. He was directed to gather all kinds of fish bones, to burn them, pound them into dust, and blew them up into the wind. This he did. He can now see the fish and call them to him. He was especially interested in the whales. They are strong and he desired to acquire physical strength, so he burned a piece of putli pawigaw, pounded it fine, and then, taking his stand on a rock that was just into the sea, blew the dust away seaward. Again, he blew his whale bone just towards them, and they moved towards him. The young chief assured him that the whales never die unless they are killed, and with their assistance he could obtain a longevity that should border on immortality. 7 times he repeated the process, and one large powerful monster came and placed himself alongside the rock, on which he stood and inquired what was wanted.
I want you to make me strong.
Very well. Put your hand in my mouth and you will find what you want.
So he thrust his hand in the monster's mouth, and feeling around found a golden key.
Take that, and you can accomplish whatever you desire. It will defend you against the attacks of enemies, wild beasts, sickness, or any other calamity.
So he took the key and went home. Everything prospered in the place. The inhabitants were well supplied with food. The animals multiplied and could be called right up to their dwellings. They were protected by the attack of hostile Indians and so increased and multiplied. By and by, the father-in-law became old and feeble, and the chief told his brother-in-law that the old man was ill, and asked if he could not made well and young again. But the others objected to this, and thought that they would better let nature take her course. After a while, the old chief died and his son succeeded him. He offered to abdicate in favor of his Wichusul. The latter declined the offer, but he rendered his friend all due assistance as long as he lived.